Brit Awards have ditched male and female categories. They're going gender neutral. Organisers say they want the awards to be as inclusive as possible.
Joining us now to discuss this is podcaster Amir Hassan, who says this is a good move that reflects our changing society, and journalist India Willoughby, who says that male and female voices are too different to be in the same category. Let's come to you first, Amir. I mean, is this really a good thing? I mean, I was trying to think, what is the most important thing? You think about a British male artist or a British female artist, they have different perspectives, don't they? They have different perspectives on all sorts of things in life and love, and they therefore actually earn their own different category.
OK, Molly, thank you for having me, first of all. I do think this is a fantastic thing. The Grammys moved away from gender categories in 2012. The VMAs did it in 2017. And we are now finally doing it. And, you know, I'm going to throw a question back to your point about, you know, the male and female different perspective. You know, there's a few things on that. I think as a massive, huge fan of the Brit Awards, and I have been since a child, I think it creates more buzz and excitement. You have the best of the best competing against each other. Like, you will have the likes of Adele and Ed Sheeran in one category to see who truly is the best of the best. And if we are going down the route of, you know, different perspectives, so they shouldn't be competing, then my question is, should we separate the charts? You know, should the charts have male categories and female categories? Because in reality, in music, they're all competing against each other every single day.
Yeah, but I mean, in the charts, you can buy both. In an awards ceremony, only one can win.
But there you go. You can buy both, so they're constantly competing against each other. So in the award ceremony, you will have the best of the best winning the award. Okay, that's one reason. And when it comes to inclusivity, it is very, very important to include everyone, male, female, non-binary, however anyone wants to identify, so we can have everyone really included and inclusive. This doesn't not include male and females. They're always included, but it includes non-binary people as well. So we have 100% inclusion in our categories.
India, it is more inclusive, and the world is a competition anyway.
Well, first of all, I think it is actually a good idea to shake things up, and I can see all the people at home now, the little dinosaurs with their hands getting angry on Twitter, pounding away. I think it's great to shake things up. But there is a big but here at the Brits, and it's important to pay attention to big buts. And that big but is that somebody this year will miss out, and on ongoing years too. And I just wish there was a way that we could recognise the fact that there is a great male singer and there is a great female singer in some way. I'm just thinking of previous years, one in particular, in 2014, the female best singer was Ellie Goulding. Brilliant singer, love her to bits. But the male best singer was David Bowie. So who's going to win there? Ellie Goulding would never have picked up the award. So I think you do end up, although on the face of it, it seems very inclusive, you are actually missing somebody out. And what happens, as Amir rightly said there, where you know, they've included it at the Grammys, what happens when one sex sweeps the board? There's going to be screams of unfairness. I think that's actually happened at the Grammys.
You're absolutely right. So the Grammys did the same thing. From 2013 then until 2021 this year, 13% of those nominated are women. 86% of those nominated are male. If we have a look at the Oscars, only 2 women, I think, have ever won Best Director at the Oscars. Yeah. I mean, Amir, the problem with merging the 2 categories is that very often, actually, it's women who lose out.
No, I agree with you, and I think India makes an absolute fair point on that. There's a lot of work to be done around that. And if you look at the Grammys, you know, nearly 4 times as many women have been nominated for a Grammy Award in 2021 as to previously in the 5 major categories. So we are moving forward, which we need to move forward much faster when it comes to
forward, though. I mean, I'll give you. I want to give you one more example. There's a literary prize. The Orange Prize was a prize for women writers because there was a year when the Booker Prize only had men on the list. I mean, How can it be more inclusive?
I'd appreciate not being interrupted, because I think India and I are actually having a good, healthy debate here. Thank you. So I'm actually agreeing with India that we need to progress forward when it comes to females completely. If you look at last year's Brit Awards, Little Mix were the first female group
I'm going to take the option. I'm going to take the option to interrupt. I'm going to take the option because I really don't get it. On one hand, you're saying gender shouldn't matter, but then you're also praising the idea that there are more female nominations. So we're already at that point where we will get an equal amount of female recognition and male recognition. If we get to a point, say, well, we want an award where there's no gender matters, but then we're going to keep an eye out to go, actually, how much female representation and male representation is there within that category? Then we're back to where we started. I don't understand.
Well, I disagree, and if I stop being interrupted and I'm allowed to finish my point, that would be fabulous, thank you. I think we can include more categories when it comes to genre. I think genres should be competing against each other, as opposed to just genders competing against each other. So how do we feel about excluding non-binary people? So are we okay with that? Do we feel comfortable with that? Because for me, if we include non-binary people, we're including 100% of the people. And as you know, the Brits, Britain continuously falls behind when it comes to inclusivity in a lot of ways. And I don't want us to fall behind the likes of the Grammys and the VMAs, who are starting to progress in terms of the awards and who's winning the awards and inclusivity. And if we continue that way, we're going to lose generations. You know, when you look at Generation Z, in America, there was a study done by the Trevor Project, and 26% of 13 to 24-year-olds identify as non-binary.
Okay.
So as
I know that. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Amir, but unfortunately, we actually have another guest on the programme, so we do have to go to that guest.
So we need to be inclusive of the younger generation.
Okay.
Otherwise,
OK, sorry, we had to cut that because we are really running out of time. There's no other reason at all.
India,
but thank you, Amir,
thank you very much
and
indeed.
India, both of you, for joining us.